Welcome back to Kindness Stories, where we share powerful tales that remind us of the goodness in humanity and how one act of courage or kindness can change everything. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and stay with us till the end. You never know whose life a simple story might touch. It was the kind of Friday afternoon where the hallways buzzed louder than usual, and the final bell echoed like a signal for celebration. The air in Jefferson High felt different. Excitement coursed through the school as students filed out of classrooms with hurried footsteps and whispered plans. The annual spring dance was just hours away. Among the sea of students chatting and laughing was a girl most people barely noticed. Her name was Maya. She was soft-spoken, always sat in the back row, and walked the hallways with her head down and her books tightly clutched to her chest. To many, she was invisible. But not because she lacked something. No, Maya was just different. She had transferred to Jefferson High at the beginning of the year after moving towns due to her father's job. While most students adapted quickly, Maya struggled. She didn't know anyone, didn't understand the inside jokes, and preferred to spend her lunch breaks in the library reading poetry instead of sitting in the crowded cafeteria. That quiet strength, that gentle spirit, it was something most people overlooked. But not everyone. Across the school, another conversation was brewing. A trio of popular girls, Lexi, Brielle, and Savannah, stood by their lockers, tossing glances toward Maya as she passed. Lexi, the unofficial leader of the group, smirked. "Are we all ready for tonight?" she asked, twirling a strand of her perfectly curled hair. "It's going to be iconic." Brielle giggled. "Totally." "And Maya said she might come? Can you imagine?" Savannah leaned in, lowering her voice. "We should totally make it unforgettable for her." Lexi raised an eyebrow, a mischievous grin forming. "Oh, we will. Don't worry." The plan was simple but cruel. Maya had finally gathered the courage to attend a school event. For weeks, she debated it. Her mother had encouraged her, and after some convincing, Maya even borrowed a dress from her cousin, a soft lavender gown that made her feel, for once, like maybe she belonged somewhere. That evening, the gymnasium sparkled with fairy lights, music thumped from rented speakers, and students danced in swirls of excitement. The atmosphere was electric. Maya hesitated at the entrance for several minutes before stepping inside. She smoothed her dress nervously, took a deep breath, and walked through the doors. At first, no one noticed. But then Lexi spotted her and nudged the others. They watched her from the sidelines, waiting for their moment. Maya found a corner and stood there quietly, watching the dance floor, her fingers clasped tightly. She hadn't expected to dance. Just to be there, to feel like she was part of something. A few students gave her polite nods, but mostly, they overlooked her presence. Still, Maya smiled to herself. Being there was a victory. Then, it happened. The music shifted to a slower song, and students began pairing up. Out of nowhere, Brielle approached Maya with a fake warmth in her eyes. "Hey," she said. "Wanna dance?" Maya blinked, surprised. "Me? Yeah. Come on, it'll be fun." Before she could say no, Lexi appeared beside them. "We thought it was awesome you showed up. You look really different tonight." Maya didn't know what to make of their sudden kindness. No one had spoken more than 2 words to her since she arrived at the school. Was it possible they had changed their minds about her? She followed them hesitantly toward the dance floor. And just as they reached the center, Lexi whispered something to the DJ. Then, the music stopped. A spotlight suddenly beamed down on Maya. The crowd turned. At first, it was silence. Then, a strange buzzing of whispers and snickers filled the room. The DJ, confused, looked at Lexi again, who nodded. He leaned into the mic and said, "We've got a special performance, something unexpected." And before Maya could react, the speakers blasted a strange mix of music, something ridiculous, loud, and completely out of place. It was meant to embarrass her. The girls stepped back. Maya stood alone under the spotlight, confused, frozen. Laughter rippled through the crowd. It was cruel. Deliberate. Mean. But in that moment, something changed. Instead of running, instead of crying, Maya straightened her shoulders. And she danced. It started slow. A simple step. Then another. Her arms moved gently, gracefully. Then, powerfully. The music changed again, this time unintentionally. The DJ, fumbling, skipped tracks. But Maya didn't stop. Because here's the thing, what they didn't know, what no one had ever bothered to ask or learn, Maya was a trained dancer. For years, she studied classical ballet and contemporary dance. Her weekends were filled with rehearsals and performances in her old town. Dance was her therapy. Her joy. Her voice. And now, it spoke louder than words. The laughter turned to silence. Then awe. The crowd watched, stunned, as Maya moved across the floor like it was her stage. Her dress twirled, her movements precise, emotional, breathtaking. By the time the song ended, the room was dead silent. Then applause. Real, loud, sincere applause. Even the DJ stood up, clapping. Maya, breathing heavily, looked around. For the first time since she arrived at Jefferson High, people truly saw her. Not as the quiet girl. Not as the loner. But as someone remarkable. Lexi stood frozen. Her plan had backfired. And hard. After the dance, students came up to Maya. Some to apologize, others to compliment her, and many just to say they had no idea she had that kind of talent. One student, Jamie, a shy artist who usually sat near Maya in English class, offered her a bottle of water and said, "That was amazing. You were amazing." Maya smiled. "Thanks." From that night on, things changed. Not instantly. Not magically. But slowly. Maya wasn't invisible anymore. She was invited to join the school's performing arts club. A few classmates asked her to help choreograph a charity show. Even teachers began acknowledging her hidden talent. But most importantly, Maya had found her confidence. She learned that sometimes, people will try to define you by their ignorance. They'll try to place you in a box, make you feel small. But the truth is, your light, your truth, your power, it doesn't need permission to shine. And sometimes, when you stop hiding, the world has no choice but to see you. Because the quietest voices often have the loudest stories. And Maya's story, like so many others, reminds us that kindness is not just about being nice. It's about looking deeper. Listening harder. And never underestimating someone just because they don't demand attention. Thank you for watching this story on Kindness Stories. If Maya's journey touched your heart, share this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more real, inspiring tales. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that matter. Stay kind. Stay brave. And remember, sometimes, all it takes is one moment to change everything.